for local government elections. This is an informative message and does not endorse any particular political party or candidate.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening with your news at this time. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Thank you for joining us. We tell you now that Exxon ordered to lodge $2 billion security deposit within 10 days until full appeal over financial assurance for oil spill is heard. Appeal Court Judge Justice Rishi Prasad has put on hold the suspension order issued against ExxonMobil Esso Exploration and Production Limited to cease operations until the hearing determination of the full appeal case. In the interim, the judge also ordered that the oil company provide a $2 billion security deposit within the next 10 days, or the stay of cease order will be lifted and the company's permit to conduct drilling activities within Guyana's lucrative Stabroek Block will be suspended. The appeal case is premised on the application filed in the High Court on September 13 by attorneys Sinat Jairam, Senior Counsel, Melinda Janke, and Abiola Wong Innes. In the case, Guyanese activists Godfrey White and Frederick Collins said that their report to the court is to make sure that the company takes full financial responsibility in case of harm, loss, and damage to the environment. They noted that an oil spill will be devastating for our country and the region, as many Guyanese and the Caribbean peoples depend on the ocean for their livelihoods. That is why we have decided that the time has come to take matters to the court for relief. Get the full details in tomorrow's Kaieteur News. And in other news, in wake of the devastating fire at Madia that killed 20 children and causing injuries to several others, the Guyana Fire Service said it has embarked on a comprehensive inspection campaign targeting school dormitories and hostels countrywide. Public Relations Officer of the Guyana Fire Service, Celine Griffith, told the Department of Public Information that the dorms and hostels are also equipped with the necessary fire safety equipment. However, this was not the case at Madia, where it was found that there was no fire extinguishers and the facility was heavily grilled. According to the DPI, to date, inspections were conducted at the locations including the University of Guyana, President's College, Dennis Irene Hall of Residence, as well as the Maikoni, Parmakatoy, and Anna Regina dormitories, Essequibo Technical Institute, Aurora Secondary, Charity Secondary, 3 Miles Secondary, and the Bartica Secondary School dormitories. And 2 sisters would have lost their life tragically on Wednesday afternoon after their lot 661 Belmont Mahika East Coast Demerara home went up in flames. The 2 children have been identified as 3-year-old Shamina Hardat and 9-year-old Amika Hardat. Information reaching this newscast revealed that the fire started around 13 hours and quickly gutted the 2-story building, which at the time had only the 2 girls inside. After hearing screams, residents from the area rushed to the scene to help extinguish the blaze, but could not reach the children in time as the fire quickly spread through the building. And having been completely destroyed by a fire back in January, the government will now be rebuilding the Christchurch Secondary School to the tune of $688.1 million. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Education signed a 7th contract at its Brickdam office for the reconstruction of the school. The new structure, according to the ministry, will be built at the same location and is expected to be finished in 7 months as per the contract. Minister of Education Priyamanik Chan at the signing ceremony stated that the reconstruction will not be undertaken by one contractor. She said that the project was divided into 7 lots and companies were invited to bid for each lot. That invitation for bid was published in the March 2023. She said that there is a consultant on the project who was also selected following a competitive bidding process. The consultancy firm is Innovative Engineering Consultancy Services. And finally, at this time, the body of Terry Cruz, who went missing on Sunday afternoon after his boat had crashed into his father's boat along the Aruca River in the Northwest District in Region 1, was found on Tuesday night. A relative of Cruz related to this newscast on Wednesday that around 19 hours 30 on Tuesday, Terry's body was found drifting up the Aruca River some distance away from where the incident occurred. Kaieteur had reported that according to Cruz's father, Percy Thomas, the accident occurred just after 21 hours on Sunday, while he was heading home with his family from church. And with that, we've come to the end of your evening newscast on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua Van Slyckman. On behalf of the news and the technical team, have a great remainder to your Thursday evening.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
It is Thursday, June 8th. Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lal on the National Outlook. A prisoner, a mass murderer, escaped from the maximum security Mazaruni prison. His name was Mark Williams, better known as Smalley. He was also living under the shadow of eight death sentences for murders committed in Bartica. And then he was also found guilty of another murder, that of a Ghana Defense Force officer. This man has been found guilty by our courts. He was in a maximum security prison, the one with the most security in this country. And yet he escaped from there. Well, we understand there was some elements of an inside job with his escape that contributed to his escape. So that explains part of the mystery. Now, an accomplice was shot and killed whilst escaping because he was not handcuffed from the police. That one was a strange one. But I want to talk about Mr. Williams, the deceased Williams, a little bit more. The fact that he's dead, I think that many in Guyana are not crying, are not shedding any tears besides his family. I mean, the man was a mass murderer. My church and me, my church don't believe in the death penalty. I'm still up and down with it. My thing is that if we're going to have the death penalty on the books and the law, then we need to move forward with it after appeals and due process. We don't need to have prisoners hanging around for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And it's either we have it on the books or we don't. And we just resort to life imprisonment. The other thing is that when Mr. Williams, aka Smalley, was killed in a joint forces operation, a lot of people breathed a sigh of relief, and I think justifiably so, because the parallels, I drew it, I think last week or in the papers when I wrote, that we remember the 2002 mass jailbreak and how 5 men wreaked havoc and mayhem across this country with many dead and injured and lots of loss of other things, loss of life, loss of property. Who counts property in such situations? So people were saying, well, are we going to have another season of killing, another season of terror and fear? Well, he's gone now, an accomplice is gone, and perhaps Guyanese can rest easy. But I would also hope that we get a clean report, a convincing report on what happened, not only with Mr. Williams, who's now dead, but his accomplice. It will give us some additional peace of mind that things were done right. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.